Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello, everyone. My name is Francisco Romero. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Mic podcast, Más allá del micrófono. So we go beyond the sports microphone. So thank you very much for joining us. Again, my name is Francisco Romero. And we have a special guest today. We have a special guest with a lot of good information, Lisa Rains. Let me introduce you to her. We'll talk a little bit about who she is, where she comes from, and how she can help you in your business. If it's a big business, a small business. So we'll talk to Lisa, and she will let us know more about what she does. Lisa, how are you? First of all, thank you for taking the time to join us. And as I told you, our podcast is Beyond the Mic. Most of the people know me in sports, but again, I try in this podcast to present a wide range of guests that are helping our community, that are of interest, and I find you and your company very interesting. So, Lisa, welcome to Beyond the Mic podcast.
Thank you very much, Francisco. It's an honor to be here.
Now, it's very nice, and the way I got to know Lisa is she was my sister Rosario. Some of you know her as Maria, some of you know her as Charo or Charito. And so the more I learn about what she does, the more I'm interested in what's going on. So I asked Lisa if she could join our 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 podcast. But first of all, Lisa, reading your bio, you've done amazing things. You got to Tucson when you at a very young age. But where do you come from? Where were you at before, as a child, before you got to Tucson?
So my family and I, my parents and my younger brother, I grew up in Southern Illinois. And most
Illinois.
of the time when you say I'm from Illinois, they think of Chicago, but it's a very, very tiny town in Southern Illinois. It's a farming community. And my father was in financial planning. And so he moved us all to Tucson for an opportunity many years ago.
I happened to work in Milwaukee for 5 years. I would go back and forth, and would take the train sometimes from Milwaukee to Chicago. With $20, you could get to Chicago in about an hour and a half. So it was pretty cool. It's cold there though, not compared to Tucson. But first of all, yes, you work with my sister. How long have you guys been working together?
Let's see. I've been with BBSI for just over 3 years, and I think Rosario is coming up on her third year anniversary. So um, it's a pleasure to work with her. We have a great team here, and it's amazing.
And in your background, you've been in a lot of very special places. I see that, you worked with the Raytheon, you worked in the Gem Show, you worked in the different throughout the whole community. So you have a vast. I'm pretty sure we know a lot of people in common. You have a wide range of contacts, and you've been all over the place. And so, I mean, excuse my ignorance, but you're gonna educate us in a lot of things, and you've been mostly in the human resources part of business. Am I correct, or how can you explain what you have done throughout your career?
Sure. So I was in the travel business when I was working with Tucson Marathon and the Gem Show for about 20 years. And that all shifted around events of 9/11. And so I went back to school and got my management degree with a focus on HR. And it's a field that I love, and I've been doing it for a very long time. I think the thing I most enjoy about that field is genuinely connecting with and helping people perform better in their jobs, taking challenges between supervisors and employees and helping improve those relationships, what then ultimately helps improve the state of the business.
Well, the word HR has a lot of meaning, human resources, and you know, the contact with the employees, the employer, and who works at a certain company. But again, everything that goes around it. That sometimes us as employees we confuse. Sometimes we go to human resources for one thing, and then we come out of there learning a lot more things that we're like, oh wait, I wish I would have gone there sooner. And so that contact that you're talking about, that feeling, but if we get close to, I found out in my situations, whenever I get close to human resources or the person in charge, it's like, taking a deep breath and like, wow, I should have known this before. I should have came here early. I don't know if that's what happens or the employees tell you that, but at least that's how my experiences have been.
So I'm grinning ear to ear, Francisco, because I'm the business partner at BBSI now, but I still have that deep experience and love for HR. And one of the things that I heard so frequently across my career is, shh, HR's in the room, don't say anything. Or HR's coming to our meeting, don't be honest, like don't talk. Or I'm being sent to the principal's office. And so I think all of my HR colleagues can relate to that. And we do our best to educate people that we're not the bad guy. We're not the one you come to just when things go wrong. So as you alluded to, we can help employees and supervisors and now small businesses as our clients develop a lot of infrastructure around HR, but in our business also risk and safety and a variety of other specialties.
And you know what? That's especially one of the reasons I wanted to invite you here, because I have a lot of friends who own businesses, childhood friends who become small business owners. Some of them have been very successful. Some of them have changed from business to business. And some of them have 2 employees, 4 employees, but some of them have restaurants or tire shops. And sometimes they tell me about maybe, oh, my cousin is doing all my HR work or my 1099s or my W-2s, and it's good to have family members help you, but sometimes there comes a time when you really need I don't want to say real help, but someone who knows rules, regulations, what's going on in the law, the changes that are happening in Congress, and whatever is going to affect your business. And sometimes that's not only very important, but very delicate. I would like to say. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but sometimes we need that expertise to come in and really show us the way.
You're absolutely right. So a lot of the things to do with employee law and regulations is that you might think that they're black and white, but many things are vague and difficult to interpret. And so that's where we come in. And a lot of times our clients, our small business owners, they're so busy and they're so deep in the weeds on running their business in the day-to-day that they don't have avenues to find out about some of those changes. And so that's what we do as well, as help make sure everyone keeps compliant.
In that area, how can we reach you? How can we know what you offer? I mean, in going through what you and I talked about, you sent me a couple of graphics that I wanted to show my buddies, my friends, whoever is watching this uh, podcast. I got one of them, which was like, it struck me, but let me put it on the screen, and then you
Sure.
can tell us what that's all about. Do you see that?
Awesome. So this is, I do. Thank you. Yes, this is one of our core marketing materials that really explains very well, I feel, what we do. So on the left side of the screen in the orange are the core services that we provide. And when you sign up or when you onboard as a BBSI client, you will get all of these things. This is not a la carte. We provide support across all of these areas and expertise in those areas as well. So the very basic function that we offer and that we need for BBSI clients is payroll. So we would provide our payroll services. You will have a very dedicated, assigned person to you. So if you have any questions or challenges, you can call our cell phone numbers, our direct lines, and get that expertise right away. Some of the things that our payroll providers have caught and helped our clients with, and actually your sister helped someone just last week. They were running payroll. They sent it over to her to quality control, and she realized that he had paid someone or started to pay someone 400 hours. So that no doubt would have had a very large negative impact on their bank account, and she caught that and sent it back to him. And those types of things happen frequently.
And I took it off. But in the big scheme, what we want is for if someone has any kind of questions in regards to what I put up. Do you want me to put it up again so you can say more stuff, or you're okay with?
I'm
Yeah.
okay. Either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
No, what I'm trying to say is that with any of the questions, they can call you. But let me put your number here, Lisa, so I can people can call you. So I'll put it on the scroll. So that's BBSI 520-783-4094 if they have any questions in regards to what you explained. But do you want to elaborate more on that graphic? You want to talk a little bit more, or if
Sure.
if it's only for small business, for medium-sized business, or for big businesses?
Sure.
Okay.
So a quick note about the phone number there too, that does funnel right into our Tucson branch. We have over 70 branches across the country, so I know you have a very wide listening office or audience, and we are all over the country. So if you're listening to this and you'd like to investigate more, we can get you in touch with the correct branch. Um, but we offer our services to businesses that range from 2 employees to over 200 and beyond. So really the ask for our customers is just that we do their payroll and they are able to call us, I like to say 5 times a day if they need help, 5 times a year. Some require more engagement. Before I go back to those bullet points on the slide, I just want to say that a lot of small and medium-sized business owners, they get into their small business because they have a passion or a love or a specific expertise in something. We have restaurant owners who are chefs. We have plumbers who open HVAC companies. And a lot of times those folks are very good at what they do and they're very good at entrepreneurship and growing the business. But as soon as you start adding employees into the mix, things get a little bit more complicated. They get more complicated with your insurance requirements for workers' comp. They get more complicated with employment law and payroll compliance and taxes. And so all of those things is what we do to help those entrepreneurs grow and to be able to focus specifically on their business and not on a lot of the administrative burdens.
One of the
So,
things I learned, one of the things I learned in economics, if University of Arizona, in my class, if if it's the only thing I learned was good, it's economies of scale. And so, you do
yes,
one thing, you have to hire somebody else to do like you're saying, if you're a chef, you're probably going to cook amazing. You're a plumber, you're gonna, but and you probably won't be able to do the human resources kind of stuff. Uh, you know, and so I think it's crucial that we don't try to do everything ourselves.
yes. And along with that, those pieces that we assist with in the human resources realm, we can help you learn, for instance, delegation skills. We can help you learn about recruiting and hiring and interviewing. A lot of times there are some nuances to interviewing that people don't realize. And when they're struggling to hire folks or retain folks, they don't understand what those nuances might be that can help them not do a lot of rework, if you will. Our human resources consultants help develop policies and handbooks and um, show ways of mitigating employee issues across the board.
So now that I have you here, tell me the secret about interviewing. How can I?
Okay, sure. So, not in this venue, not in this format, but if you are hiring and you're trying to interview candidates, one of the things that you want to keep in mind is we always recommend that it's not a one and done process, right? Anyone can show up as their best self and fool anyone on the planet, even the best of those at reading people for 30 minutes. But if you get that person back, they tend to relax a little bit more. And you want to not only read their body language, you want to make sure that they're actually specifically answering your question. So when you ask someone a behavioral type interview question that goes something like, tell me about a time when you've had to stand up this project and you were under budget and how did that go? A lot of times people will say, well, I would do this, not I have done that. And it's a real small word difference that can completely change the output on who you're hiring and who you believe that you're hiring. It's a big deal.
You know what? I'll tell you something. I like interviews myself because if I'm applying for a job, it's something that I want to do. And I learned this, since my very first few jobs. And I had a friend of ours. She was applying for a job at a TV station, and she was very worried. I said, "No, enjoy it, enjoy the conversation, because that's what you do. That's what you like to do." And that's actually what I do when I go into an interview. My last interview that was 18 years ago, but I like to go because first of all, it's something that I'm passionate about. Or sometimes, I mean, not all of us are lucky to get the job of our dream job or whatever. But I've had the luck to have jobs that I really wanted, and so I want to show the interviewer that I really want that job. And not only that, but I usually have conversation about as if I was in the job already. But I mean, those are just my the way I do it. But it's very interesting because sometimes because people get very nervous. But you talked about the side of us, the person who's hiring or the company who's hiring. What about someone who is asking for a job or looking for that job or interviewing for that job?
I think to your point, the most productive interviews that I've had are those people who come in, and even if they're a little nervous at first, they relax and enjoy it. And I've given that advice many times too. A lot of times people are just looking for a new job. They don't have to have a job. And if you're in that position, you can be a lot more relaxed. You're not desperate for the job, right? So to listen to the questions very carefully, to enjoy it, and to try to just engage and connect with the interviewer.
That's very good advice. I'm glad I asked you because I always wondered about that, and so people might like to know. But in reality, there's a lot of issues, a lot of questions, a lot of things that you can go over with you know with whoever needs your services. But what is your advice for someone who's like, do I want to hire the company? Do I want to go with BBSI? Do I want to keep doing it myself? Do I want my wife, my cousin to still be doing it? What would you advise? What questions should they ask themselves?
First of all, I would just say call us. Let's have a conversation about it. I would say that they should be considering what administrative tasks or burdens that person who's doing it now could relieve themselves of, and therefore take on other items that might be of benefit to the business. I would say that even if they have someone in-house already, Francisco, doing payroll or HR, we're not looking to replace that person. We're looking to support that person. One thing we're very good at is safety as well, and through the business consulting, implementing infrastructure so that they can feel more confident. I know when you're more confident as a human being, then I think good things tend to come your way because you're more confident. And with BBSI, those clients and those business owners can be a lot more confident that the things behind the scenes are being handled and handled well so they can go do what they need to do to grow their own business.
No, those are some very good points. But the one I like the most is that we're not looking to replace whoever's helping. We're
Right.
looking to enhance what you're already doing and to actually. And talking to Rosario and to you also, I found out, or you told me about once they talk to you, they realize, oh, I could have been cited for this, or I could have been, or I could have made more money because had I done this, or I could have less money. So I guess, those are legitimate questions that, as a business owner, once we should also ask ourselves.
I have sorry, I'm cutting off the phone call here. I have a very good example that I think your listeners might appreciate. We onboarded a company here in Tucson in January, and one of the things, they'd had some turnover and some things going on that they weren't aware of that were detrimental. But one of the things that had happened to them is that Department of Homeland Security had done an I-9 audit.
Hmm.
And the I-9, while very, very simple on its face, is very complex with what the government looks for. And you have to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And if they're not, if they're done wrong or there are errors, the company always has has an opportunity to correct that. But the person at the helm of that business, before they came to us, ignored the federal government's requests. And in the end, they were fined $70,000.
Oh my God, that hurts.
And this is like, it does. And they only had 20, 30 employees. So those types of things, whether you know about them or not, government entities can still hold you accountable. So those are the types of things that we can help prevent for you.
Wow, that's a good example. And now you also can help those business owners. So some of them might have started new businesses, but maybe they don't speak English, or they're more comfortable speaking in Spanish. And you have Rosario there to help them out.
Yes, we do. We have 3 people who speak some level of Spanish in the office. Rosario is fluent, obviously, and she's very excited and enthusiastic to help those customers.
And also you have clients in Nogales also?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
The Tucson branch, our territory kind of goes all the way from Ajo to Nogales to Safford on the southern part of the state to north to Casa Grande. And then we have a Phoenix branch as well that takes on northern Arizona, and we work closely with all of our branches across the United States. So if somebody's listening and they're in Northeast or Northwest, we can get you connected with help there as well.
Before we go, I want to show that graphic again so people can see what how you can help them with their services, and so there's a lot of benefits to joining BBSI, talking to Lisa, talking to the company, and so I'm very excited that I was able to get you here on the podcast and talk to you. And there's a lot of people who, like I said, I know we talk and they don't approach me for business advice, but we talk sports, but then we talk about their businesses, and sometimes they bring up their concerns. So that's one of the reasons that I wanted to invite you. So now I can answer some of those questions, or maybe send them your way, which
would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. We would love to talk with you more and to your listeners.
Now, anything that you would like to say before we leave you? I hope this is not the last time I invite you. What I want to do next time with you is bring up specific cases, like or a specific service that we can just say, let's focus on this, and then we can do another one on another one. Because this is very general. But then let me see what my listeners and viewers ask me, and then maybe I can bring you up again and say, hey, they want to know about certain stuff. Like we talked about interviewing, and then we can go more into another topic that they would be very interested in. So I'll figure out, and then we can invite you again and talk about those specific issues. But what can you leave us with? What before you go? What more advice can you tell us? And how can people find you?
I would just say that there are several companies that do what we do, but we focus on face-to-face interactions. You've got our cell phone numbers, and we are here to support you. So give us a call at the number on the ticker tape, and we'll be happy to chat with you about it.
And again, one of the things that I really liked also was you were telling me that if they call, you answer right away, and you have a human being on the other side, not a robot.
Right, and you've got an assigned team, and so you're never going to be dialing a toll-free number and be asked to hold or passed around where you've got to tell your story all over again. Each of our SMEs, our subject matter experts, gets to know your account and your specific culture, and are able to customize our responses and our guidance to you.
Now, can they visit your office also, or is it just a phone call first, or are there walk-ins or appointments?
We would love to make an appointment just to make sure we have the time allotted for you for that conversation, but we are local in Tucson.
Okay. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. I really want to have this conversation with you, and hopefully our viewers and listeners learn something as much as I did. So thank you very much, and please give my best to my sister, since I'm in Houston, you're in Tucson. And so we'll see you soon. Thank you, Lisa.
I will do that. Thank you, Francisco.
Well, thank you very much again. Gracias por acompañarnos. Again, my name is Francisco Romero, and this is Beyond the Mic podcast. So we'll see you next time.